Back in my Sonic Marathon, I made a few videos that tackled your guys' comments, so I figured why not do the same for Mega Man. Not everyone who watches a video checks the comments, and you guys had some really interesting ideas that I'd love to showcase, so let's get into some of them. There were plenty of comments on my Zero Theory video, some agreeing and some with their own theories. Most people believe in either one of three possibilities usually. However, it can be all three, and honestly, after thinking it through, it makes the most sense, at least to me. Here's how we can break it down. They each have something about them that doesn't account for an issue that another covers. So what if it went like this? Wily creates Zero, but he's pretty unstable, so he only releases him as a test against Rock when he enters Wily's base. Proto either joins Rock in the fight and steps in when things get out of hand, or he finds Rock badly damaged and brings him back to Light's base. Meanwhile, Zero isn't decommissioned, but he's also incredibly damaged from the fight. So Wily is able to take him back to the lab for stasis and repair. Proto brings Rock back to the lab, unconscious. Rock is damaged to the point of non-repair. As much as it saddens them, Rock is gone. Light, now understanding the threat that Zero poses, begins work on X. Wily does the same for Zero, spending the rest of his days putting everything he has into his perfect creation. That's why there isn't much of a mention of the two scientists in the future. The governmental ban on robotics makes it so other scientists like Kozak can't create anyone new either. And this also stops Light from creating another Mega Man. Not that he would anyway, he's too busy doing that already with X. Proto plays hero from here on out, in case Base tries anything. And honestly, Base wouldn't be decommissioned once his expiration date is reached of his own free will. So that's Proto's job to get him to comply. Through force, of course. So to summarize, the ban restricts other scientists from creating new robots. Zero is the one to destroy Rock, giving him a satisfying conclusion that's certainly better than, "Okay, Mega Man, you did great, now in the trash you go." It also gives Light a purpose for creating X, beyond just blue robot cool, make bigger blue robot. It also explains why he leaves the capsules around. The expiration dates are still a thing, so the other robots like Auto, Roll, and Beat are decommissioned as well. I feel like this might be one of the more satisfying conclusions we could come to, as it addresses all lore and theories, addressing all of their weaknesses, and covers all ground. I always liked the idea that Zero was Rock, and Wily just upgraded and altered him as a final FU to Light, and over time, Zero returned to his old nature. This is a really interesting theory. We've had something similar in canon with Quint. However, it's most likely that Zero's design was based off of Proto. You can see this with the yellow hair and yellow scarf, their red armor too. Since Proto was Light's first creation that Wily took and reprogrammed, thus starting this whole mess, basing Zero's design off of him could still be that final FU to Light, just in a different way. I always thought Mega Man was just kind of in a time loop. Mega Man 5 for Game Boy has a robot named Quint, who is basically Mega Man from the future, stolen and reprogrammed by Wily. So Mega Man is no longer around because as time progresses, he becomes Quint and goes back to be destroyed by himself. You know, some people theorize that the X and Classic series aren't even connected. Maybe it's something like that, where the handheld Mega Man games have their own timeline with Quint, making a time loop, while the console Mega Man games lead into the X series? Food for thought. This person brings up an interesting idea on the possibility that Battle Network, and I suppose by extension Star Force as well, are connected to the main timeline. The theory would suggest that Battle Network takes place before the original series. I'm not sure how this would work out though. Admittedly, I don't know a whole lot about the Battle Network series as I've never played it, surprisingly. But Star Force, I believe, takes place a few hundred years after Battle Network. I don't know how this would line up with the mainline games. It certainly couldn't take place during the X or Zero series, that's for sure. And that's it for the comments. Just a quick shorter video as I wanted to tackle at least a few while I work on the timeline video. If you guys have any theories of your own, leave them in the comments. I'd love to check them out. They might just be included in a future video. Take care, folks.